Guys, welcome back to Play on Footy. It's been a hot minute, so I thought I'd jump on here and talk to you guys. Hope you are all doing well. Not much footy news really, since obviously the draft and trade period sort of finished up. I haven't done any of the gradings for that. I don't know if I will, but if you want me to, chuck in the comments below and I will do it for you. But there has been a couple of things that I haven't jumped on here to talk about apart from that. One of them has been some rebrands that have been sort of finished or completed in the AFL from 3 AFL teams. You've got Gold Coast Suns, you've also got St Kilda, which again wasn't really a major one, and Adelaide Crows, which was a significant change for their sort of logo. So we'll jump straight into the Gold Coast one. I couldn't even see it. I'm not even joking. It was that washed out. It was, I guess, something that Gold Coast or even perhaps Damien Hardwick felt like they needed to do to change their identity to their new phase. They want to play finals. That's sort of the brand they're looking forward to in the future. And also the Gold Coast AFLW head coach and captain, the coach was sacked, and the captain has requested a trade from the Gold Coast AFLW team. So I think as a whole, Gold Coast are putting increasing amounts of pressure on Damien Hardwick, and Damien Hardwick has been putting increasing amount of pressure on his players to make sure that they stand up. And I couldn't help but laugh at the photo of Daniel Rioli, the new ex-Richmond to Gold Coast recruit, and John Noble, ex-Pie to Gold Coast Suns, wearing the new kit. John Noble looked very dissatisfied, and Daniel Rioli was just, I don't know, he was just being himself. But yeah, having looked at those, looked at the photos and also looked at the redesign, I could not believe how, I guess, insignificant they really turned out to be. I mean, it was that faded out. And the colors that they used, I know they didn't want to look like, I guess, Gold Coast Lifesavers, but they sort of had that sort of remnants, especially with their sort of away color, with the clash color being full yellow. The other one just a traditional red with yellow. So yeah, an interesting one there. The next one was St Kilda. They did their logo change as well. Very, very slight difference really. I think they just did some more intense graphic design on the logo, just sort of brought out the black a little bit more. Other than that, I really couldn't tell the difference, other than the fact that St Kilda media put out there that they had a redesign. So I was like, okay, whatever. And the next one is Adelaide Crows, probably the most significant one out of the, well, yeah, it's probably up there. It's Adelaide and Gold Coast. But the Adelaide Crows really harks back to that early 2000s design of the cyborg crow. And you know what? I actually don't mind it. I never really liked the previous logo. Sort of reminded me of the direction West Coast took in 2017. They did away with the traditional sort of winged eagle and went just for the eagle's head. And yeah, look, they won the flag that year in 2018, but I just never really took a liking to it, and I still don't really like the new Eagles logo. But I think this is a good move for Adelaide. They've onboarded Isaac Cumming, Alex Neil-Bullen, and the other guy from GWS, James Peatling. So I think it's a really exciting time. They also got Sid Draper as well. I think at pick, I don't know what pick it was, maybe 3 in the draft. So yeah, I think it's an exciting time for Adelaide Crows. And I think the rebrand has come at a good time. They want to pave the way for their next generation, but also really, I guess, make a stance. And, whether or not Tex Walker will continue on, I think he's taken on a coaching gig that I saw at some local, or it might have been in the SANFL sort of team, but I think he is playing on in 2025. So Tex Walker will still be around. But I'm really looking forward to, a lot of development from the players, but also from those new crop of traded players coming in. I think it's a really exciting time. So yeah, I think I actually don't mind the rebrand for Adelaide Crows there. The next one, not a rebrand, but a little bit slightly off topic. Sydney, I noticed in one of the pictures on the AFL.com website, or might have been on Swans Club's website on Facebook, that they were training in like a maroon sort of color, similar to that of the Brisbane Lions. And I don't know if that's a psychological tool that they've been using, but yeah, I found that really interesting. They don't train with their normal bright red colors. They went to a bit more of a maroony sort of color there, so I found that really interesting as well. Again, they do have some fresh news as well out of Sydney that Dean Cox is the new coach. So I'm just going to segue into that just briefly. So yeah, after I don't know how many years, seems like a long time, or since 2011, I think Horse took over. So my math isn't too crash hot. 13 years, is it? Yeah. So that's a long time for John Longmire to be in the hot seat, to be the senior coach. And I think, look, some say that it was the many thrashings in the grand finals, 2022, 2024. But, I think one has to realise that, eventually he would have to step down and a new sort of vision would have to enter the club. And I think Sydney is one of those organisations that are so well structured on and off the field, similar to Geelong Cats, that they just are run really well. Tom Hardy, ex-Cat, he's the CEO of the Sydney Swans. By all means, or by all reports I've heard, he is a great operator, not only from the sponsorship side, but also from just everyone's welfare, the player welfare, management, coaching, staff, everyone, from every aspect. He is very, very good at what he does. So I think he would have read the room. John Longmire would have read the room and gone, look, I can go for another year. Am I going to make a difference to the club? Am I going to be able to be adaptable to create the change the club needs? He's obviously thought either one of the two things, I can't do that, or I've just had enough. And I think it was either one of those two things. Dean Cox has been waiting in the shadows for quite some time now. He was a part of Sydney Swans, I think, from 2020 or 2021. I think when he came across from West Coast Eagles to Sydney. So yeah, he was a ruck coach at West Coast, and then he's been basically Horse's right-hand man, basically shadowing John Longmire. And I really enjoyed Dean Cox's address to the players. It was on Sydney Swans Facebook page, where he addressed the players in like a 4.5 minute clip thereabouts, basically saying that the players, the staff, the coaches, and then himself come in that order. And so the club comes first, then the players, then the coaching staff, and then him. So yeah, I really found that really interesting to watch. I saw a lot of positive comments on him and his appointment. I think it's the right direction Sydney need to go down. Does he have one of the toughest jobs in the AFL? Well, yes and no. Yes, in the way that he's got a good enough list that he could contend again for another flag. Absolutely. But the pressure is on him because he wants to go one better than what John could do. He could get to the grand finals. He just couldn't finish off, apart from 2012, where the Swans won the flag. It's just one of those things where in football and in life, you've got to take your opportunities when they come. And for Dean Cox, this has been like, a lot of hard work's gone into this, but he definitely deserves this opportunity, and I'm really excited for him and what he can possess and do going forward. Now, does he have a harder job than Andrew McWalter? Look, who knows? We don't want to compare too much here because they are two different teams in complete different states and different ranks. One's played in the grand final just recently. One hasn't even come close since 2018. So, when you see it like that, Andrew McWalter is going to be laying down his law and obviously wanting to create change on that front. And I think, if you want to talk about the draft, I think, the Eagles probably won the draft. They got some really good talent coming through there as well. Bo Allen was stolen from right underneath Freo's noses. He was a Peel boy, won the WAFL's grand final with Peel. I think Job Shanahan? Yeah, he slid from around the pick 20 mark to 30. Tom Gross, Luke O'Gregor, I think his name was. And then a guy called Dixon or something from Claremont who he picked up, who is apparently really, Hamish Dixon, I think his name is, who was a really good player. So all in all, I think, as I'm an Eagles supporter, that's not a bad end over there. But yeah, comment down below if you want me to do a full sort of, grade or review of the draft period. I think the obvious one for me would be the fact that, Brisbane Lions got another Ashcroft in the ranks, which, he's arguably probably apart from Sid Draper, probably the pick of the bunch from that draft. So look, only time will tell, but it's exciting times there, and I'm really excited to be creating more AFL content for you guys come 2025. I may or may not do cricket. If you guys want me to do cricket as well, comment down below, like and subscribe that as well. Just give me some feedback as to what you're wanting to see, as you are one of my loyal subscribers. I really do thank you for season 2024 and everything like that. Apologies, I haven't been posting in a while, but I just wanted to jump on here and just talk a bit about what has been going on in the quieting down AFL landscape as we head into Christmas. So have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Comment down below, would love to hear your feedback. And yeah, if this is my last video of the year, I'll definitely see you in the new year. Cheers, guys.